Think of anything else that could interrupt us. Okay.
Yeah, my internet was blinking over there. Well, hello everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the Google Hangout today. We'll be getting started here in about 3 minutes. We'll get started at 3 after, so you've got a little bit of time to get a cold drink and get relaxed. We've got a great presentation for you today with CrowdNetworker and my guest, Lisa Grossmann. Great to have you online, Lisa.
Wonderful to be here.
Yeah, but how's the weather in Texas today? You in Texas? No telling where you're at, actually.
Now the sun is coming out, but it was rainy this morning, so now we have sun plus leftover rain, which equals muggy, but, you know, it's Texas, so it's better in June than it will be in August, I suppose.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we've got a beautiful day in Georgia and had a heck of a storm roll through last night. I imagine that came from your neck of the woods a couple days ago, but really, I was scrambling at about 2:30 in the morning last night to put the cars in the garage. It was one of those nights.
It has been a year of weather.
Yeah, it has been. So, again, everyone, I'd like to welcome you to the Hangout today. My name is Tom McMurran. We're going to be covering CrowdNetworker and really talking about how to build a sustainable crowd networker with our special guest, Lisa Grossmann. She is an absolute powerhouse in the industry and has proven her salt time and time again in front of millions of people around the world, and excited to have her online today. We're going to be chatting real quick about CrowdNetworker up front. Just for those that are brand new, you're seeing this for the first time, I'm going to give you a quick overview of CrowdNetworker, and then we're going to get into about 30 minutes of golden nuggets and discussions about using Google Hangouts to build sustainable networks and crowd networks. Lisa's great at doing them on the ground and on the air, which is fantastic, and I have probably the ultimate testimonial for her today because she's the one that taught me how to do them. So that's why we're here today. It's because of Lisa. It's all her fault. So again, we'll be getting started here in about 2 minutes, 1 minute till game time. Kind of tricked y'all today. I usually do it at 5 after, but we're going to crank it up at 3 after. Certainly, if you missed this, you'll have the opportunity to see a recorded version of it. But again, great having everybody online today. Got an awesome group coming online already. Again, I'd like to welcome you to the CrowdNetworker Hangout. We've got a special guest today, Lisa Grossmann, and she is dialing in from Texas, and I am dialing in from Georgia. Couldn't get 2 more gun-slinging states than that, could you, Lisa? We had a shootout at the Cumming Courthouse up in North Georgia yesterday. It was out of this world. It was like the Wild West yesterday up in Cumming, Georgia. But
you do live in the Wild West.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. They don't have that happen in Texas because the slogan says "Don't mess with Texas." So people just don't mess with Texas. So everybody just respects each other here. Here they're shooting everybody over here. So, but awesome having everybody online. I'm going to ramp up here in just a few seconds. We've got a great hangout for you today. We're going to be going about an hour, so if you were expecting a shorter time, set your clock back a little bit and we'll get started. But awesome having everybody online. Got a fantastic audience. Like to, again, welcome my special guest, Lisa Grossmann. She's dialing in or hanging out in Texas with us, and great to have you online today. Lisa, how are you doing?
I am doing awesome. Thank you very much for asking. I'm home. I've been home for like a whole week.
You have been an absolute road warrior all over the world. It's like I travel vicariously through you, and I rack up more fictitious sky miles than anybody on the internet watching you go all over the world. So I've seen you in Norway. I've seen you in the Middle East, or what, Israel. You've been
Scandinavia, Israel, all over Asia, and lately a little bit all over the States. So after a decade, it's fun to come home a little bit.
Yeah, get to see your home country, huh? Well, that's super. Everyone, again, thanks for being online with us today. My name is Tom McMurran. I'm the founder of CrowdNetworker, and I am going to give you a quick overview of CrowdNetworker, and then we're going to jump into a presentation with Lisa, and we're going to be talking about a new product that she's bringing out for CrowdNetworker representatives that are interested in marketing a very solid, high-quality educational product from a seasoned mentor, somebody who has seen the world, spoke in front of millions of people around the world. I mean, the groups. I mean, you look at some of the speaking groups people look at in the United States, and you see some of the pictures on their website. It's like a mob scene. It's unbelievable. But Lisa is. We're going to be talking about just a few golden nuggets out of her training for building a sustainable crowd network, and ultimately how you can do business online. And I owe a lot of credit to her in learning Google Hangouts, and I'll discuss that when we get into the golden lessons of CrowdNetworker and ultimately what we're going to be talking about today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and flip over to my presentation screen, and I'm going to pull up a PowerPoint presentation for you. So you'll see Lisa and I disappear for a couple minutes, but I want to just kind of give you a quick overview of CrowdNetworker and what it's all about. I think a lot of people, if you do a survey of individuals that are interested in learning how to do business online, a lot of people would say, yes, I definitely want to learn how to do business online. I'm waiting for my PowerPoint. Do you see the PowerPoint, Lisa? I don't see it yet.
I don't. I muted out because I keep down background noise, but I don't see it as of yet.
Let me, I'm going to jump over to a different, oh, there it goes, okay. I think what I may have to do is I'm just going to play it safe, and I'm just going to use it on this screen right here. But let me go ahead and just get into really just the origin of CrowdNetworker. A lot of people are familiar with business networking. Well, what CrowdNetworker is doing is we are combining technology with the old practice of business networking, where the idea of going to a chamber of commerce meeting, the idea of going to a business network meeting or something like that, and pulling out all the business cards and going around the room and tapping everybody on the shoulder and shaking everybody's hand and meeting everybody. What we're doing with CrowdNetworkers, we're developing a mobile app, a technology that will enable you to basically sweep the room with technology and identify people in the room that you're most likely to do business with. And this is a very exciting technology. We're going to be launching it just around the 1st of October. A lot of the people who are involved with us in the beginning will become the beta testers for the technology, and they'll be able to use it to build crowd networks. And when you think of crowd networking, you really talk about crowd theory. You've heard about crowdsourcing. You've heard about crowdfunding. Those are multi-billion-dollar industries. Well, we are on the cusp of really redefining the business networking industry and turning it into the crowd networking industry. And just an exciting time to be able to use technology and have the opportunity to tap the power of the crowd. And that's really what we're talking about today. But just a quick vision on crowd networking and what we're all about is, our vision is to build a global network, crowd network focused on value creation and lifestyle design. Larry Benet, one of our mentors, he talks about being a value creator or a VC, not a venture capitalist, but a value creator. When you actually meet people and show them that there's a better way, value creation is very, very, very important. And then, of course, we've got lifestyle design. When you look at lifestyle design, folks, it's just it's one of those things that everybody wants. It's something that everybody needs, and they're looking for ways to make money online. And of course, our mission is to provide an easy-to-use online marketing system. We understand that most of the people involved in CrowdNetworker do not know how to code HTML code. They don't know how to, there's a lot of things they don't know how to do. So our whole system is a turnkey, done-for-you system where really, if you know how to cut and paste, you're off to the races with this. And then, of course, the opportunity with CrowdNetworker, people say, well, what is the opportunity? The opportunity is really to learn the fundamentals of making money online while helping others do the same. And I think that's the real blessing. And I'm sure Lisa will attest to the fact that if you go out and help enough people become financially independent, there's just no doubt that you're going to have that same reward as well. The real product that we offer mentors is work less, earn more, and enjoy more freedom. Let me explain that. When you go to the hardware store to buy a drill, you really don't need a drill. Or if you go to the hardware store to buy a shovel, you don't really need a shovel. What you need is a hole, okay? And that's really the direct benefit of working in an operation like what we're doing here with CrowdNetworker is CrowdNetworker, yes, it is the drill, but the ultimate product, what people are looking for, is they're looking for work less, earn more, and enjoy more freedom. So when I tell you that's our ultimate product, I'm not trying to deceive you or anything. I'm just saying that's really what you want, and we know that. And I have this saying that says, offer people what they want instead of what they need, and you'll see your conversions and cash flow skyrocket, because at the end of the day, you don't really care if a drill is a half horsepower or you just want to know that it gets the hole that you're looking for. And so we promote lifestyle design and wisdom that guides you in living where you want to live, living how you want to live, and ultimately making money doing it. And that is just something, that's a slogan that I live by. I absolutely love that slogan. But when you think about the golden lessons of CrowdNetworker, a lot of people say, well, Tom, I really need to learn this business first. And the great thing about it is we have 12 mentors that will be available to you, and they're going to be creating products for you that you can sell, that you can learn from. And some of these products, some of the core teachings that we work with people is, number one, how to build a data bank. A lot of people call it a list, a lot of people call it a database. I call it a data bank because that's ultimately where my money comes from every month, and ultimately building an ATM machine that every month, like when we have Lisa's product, you can send out messages to all your friends and say, hey, buy this product. It will help you learn this business better, and you have the opportunity to create commission, from that. And all of these products will be available in your back office, and you can decide what month you want to market what products or what week you want to market products. All of the products will be available in your back office, and these will be high-quality educational products that really make a difference in people's business. And so, some of the other lessons that we teach, like, content creates conversations, conversations creates cash flow. That is like the foundational lesson of our business. If you're not out there creating content, nobody's ever going to find you. Nobody's ever going to know who you are. And of course, the 2% rule. If you don't know the 2% rule, folks, I got to tell you what, this business will totally bankrupt you. And a lot of people don't know that, but if you're not growing your list and marketing to your list every single month a new product or something relevant to what they want, you're going to end up spending a lot of money on marketing and going bankrupt. So we teach the 2% rule, which is a very, very important rule. Of course, automation, duplication, and conscious creation. We call that the ADCs of internet marketing, and automation of team, duplication of automation of marketing, duplication of team, and conscious creation of content is extremely important, and that's a very important lesson within our business. And then of course there's the quintessential training or foundational understanding of sell the franchise, not the hamburger. And I got to tell you what, that one alone, I have known that training for almost 20 years, and it has been responsible for building 3+ 10,000 person organizations. And the most recent one that I built that was over 45,000 people. And it's one of those things that you have to understand. You don't sell a McDonald's franchise by walking up to somebody and handing them one of their hamburgers. All you're going to do is sell them indigestions. All you're going to do if you do that. And so it's very important that you all know these lessons, and we cover these within the CrowdNetworker program, and we're going to be covering a lot more. And again, here's that quote that says, offer people what they want, not what they need, and you'll see your conversions and cash flow skyrocket. And really, when you think about it, people want to know how to do this business. They like vitamins, they like skin cream, they like coffee, they like mobile phones. There's all kinds of different products out there that you can market, and we recommend that you market whatever you're passionate about. And the great thing about CrowdNetworker is we don't care what product you market. Okay, we're not pushing any one MLM or network marketing or home-based business opportunity. We provide the system that attracts people to this business, and ultimately, at the end of the day, you'll have to look them in the face and say, hey, would you like to market coffee with me, or would you like to market skin cream, or whatever your product is, that will be up to you to show them the benefits of going with your company. But it's probably been one of the most incredible experiences that I've had of being online with several different leaders at any one time. But one of the products that we're going to be creating, and I want to give a quick background on Lisa and myself. Lisa, we met for the first time in Atlanta, Georgia, and she came to an industry event that I was having at my farm, and I lost her to chocolate chip cookies, but she was here. We had such a great. My daughter makes the most incredible chocolate chip cookies, and she about knocked everybody out.
Every calorie that I ended up on my thighs because they were that good.
Yeah. So Lisa and I met here, and I remember her look. She was just amazed at how much business. I mean, these were like 25 of the top internet marketers, if not in the country, in the world, of people that were here for a mastermind event. And I remember her and her partner, Curtis and her were sitting here, and they were just blown away by how much was being done online, and they'd obviously seen it. But we built a relationship over time, with that company, and it was interesting because one night I was sitting at home at about 1 o'clock in the morning. I had my robe on. I was sitting there, and all of a sudden, my phone, my computer starts ringing, and it was a tone I had never heard before. And all of a sudden I clicked on it, and on the other end was Lisa Grossman. And I'm like, oh, hey, Lisa, how are you? And she's like, I'm fine. She goes, I got to show you these Google Hangouts. They are so cool. And I laughed because I was like, Lisa, up until that point, she would call me and say, do you understand this? Do you understand that? How do you do this? How do you do that? And she is like a absolute sponge when it comes to collecting data. But she will.
You can say it, a techno-idiot.
Yeah, she'll fully admit that technical stuff is not hers. Her and my wife both are. They just don't. Technology's not at the top of their list of things they want to understand. But Lisa, I'll give this ultimate testimonial that Lisa is responsible for that last organization that I built, over 49,000 people, because I used Google Hangouts. And I built the entire network in, I think I put 12,000 people in the first 100 days using Google Hangouts. We did 100 Hangouts in a row, and then I took a month off during the holidays, and then I came back and I did another 100 Hangouts and just watched the organization grow from there. All of the recordings and everything that I made on all of those Hangouts stayed online and continued to build my business and my organization. And it was just one of the most amazing technologies. And today, folks, I can't even step foot. I mean, I know Lisa's a big offline person, and she loves going and doing the big groups and doing the big face-to-face trainings. But, I'm a little bit different. I live on a farm out in the middle of nowhere, and I like peace and quiet. I don't like big crowds and all of that. And the idea of being able to build a global audience, kind of like we've been doing with CrowdNetworker. I mean, we have CrowdNetworkers in Thailand right now. We've got them in Australia. We've got them in the UK. We've got them in Germany. We've got them all over the world, and it's just truly amazing to see how, when you're looking at Google Analytics, Lisa, you can watch the live beta Google Analytics while you're on a Hangout, and you can actually see where people are viewing in from, and it's really an amazing thing to have a global audience on a free technology. And for that, I owe you an incredible thank you for teaching me Google Hangouts. The most unlikely person to call me and teach me technology, but it was you, and I went to town with it and did some damage with it. But great having you online today, Lisa. I wanted to give that little introduction and pay you that special homage because you're a very special lady in many people's hearts, and there are people all over the world that know you and love you. And I especially am one, and my family is one. We're very grateful to you. But it's great having you online. Lisa is a miracle mentor with CrowdNetworker, and what that means is she is producing a product that will provide you wisdom, tremendous wisdom. I mean, we're talking wisdom that it's coming from the top of the industry for somebody who's built 100,000 person plus organizations, and there's just not a lot of those people around. And I don't care if you pay $97 for it or $997 for it, I can guarantee you the value that you're going to get out of it is going to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, only if you apply it. And that's the big if. A lot of people learn stuff and they don't actually go and apply it. And that's one thing that Lisa knows I have no problem with. She teaches me something, I'm gonna hammer it and wear it out, and get calls from AT&T and everybody else like, damn, how much bandwidth are you gonna suck up at that house down there? But Lisa, great having you online. I know that we have talked about your course being talking about building a sustainable crowd network. But I'm gonna open the floor and just say, hey, hi. What would you like to talk about?
Well, first off, I have to say, it's interesting because I really don't think of Hangouts as technology. I suppose they are, but it's so simple to use, being Google and all, that I just looked at it for what it could do for business, because nothing replaces being live. But in today's world, obviously, we can't always be live all the places that we want to be. The world's getting smaller. People are doing business all over the planet, and today people are building global empires from spare bedrooms in their home and from smartphones in the palm of their hand. And nothing is as effective as people being able to connect with one another. And I think that the more contact and the more we get towards computers, the more that people need that, especially in network marketing, because it's so much a function of community over what really the products are and all the things that people think are the main things that are certainly important, but not as important as community and connection between people. And what I saw with Hangouts was the ability, you almost lose yourself in the technology. If it is a technology, I can be on Hangouts with people and in their living room, and it's like I'm in their living room, except that I can be in 85 living rooms at once. I can bring people in from other living rooms and get them back into each other's living rooms and create connection in a bigger picture than one could typically create in a home meeting. And when I saw all these things were possible, it just to me became the greatest aid for doing business the way that it needs to be done. Because I've always said that human nature doesn't change, although technology does. And if you're delivering the right message correctly, then technology can help you get a larger audience much more efficiently, much more quicker, and get the information out at rapid pace. If you're doing something incorrectly, then technology is going to have the same effect against you. And I'm very much an old school thinker. I just like new tools to make the schoolroom bigger.
Well, when you look at building, you're right. It's bringing people may want to understand a little bit better what you mean by bringing other people's living rooms. At the bottom of the screen, where you see Lisa and myself, you can actually bring in, I think, 10 other people as well. So you can have a total of 10. And I know with the other company that I was building the network for, we were bringing in people from different cities, and they had group meetings going on at restaurants and their houses, and it was incredible, because you're seeing the enthusiasm for whatever you're doing all over the place. And I tell people, set up your Google Plus account. We have a great training video on our YouTube channel, which is using Google tools for team building, and it just kind of goes over the basics of setting up the YouTube account, the Google Plus account. I mean, Google makes it about as easy as anybody can, for considering how robust this technology is. It really is incredible. So, Lisa, could you give us some examples of how you're using Google Hangouts on a daily basis?
Let me digress even a little bit more to make sure that everybody understands, because I talk to so many, the internet marketing space, which is originally where I was utilizing Hangouts. And I was brought into the internet marketing space to help with community, because I know nothing about internet marketing. I still don't have a list. I'm working on it. I'm going to take your course. I still don't have any of those things. But I do understand community and the necessity of it. And for those that are unaware, a Hangout, what you're watching, is something that's provided for free by Google that allows, as Tom said, up to 10 people in what would effectively be a chat room. But because it's Google's robust technology, and because Google gives everything to all of us for free, the individuals, because we're actually lab rats for them to perfect things to sell to businesses and Google apps, you get amazing things for free that you could not duplicate for money as an individual. Because first you have the ability to coordinate and collaborate with people around the world without being on air as we are with you right now. You can literally bring 10 people together from all over the world, or from conference rooms all over the world, or individuals all over the world, and be connected and collaborate on documents and work together as if you're in the same room. And that's amazing. And when you transition, you also have the ability to bring the very same people together and broadcast live, as you're watching now, out to as many people as can watch. And people always say, how many people can watch? You are broadcasting on YouTube's bandwidth, where 7 million people saw the last guy go up with his thing in the air and his parachute. So your audience capability is literally, has no limit. It is unlimited. 1 million people, were you so talented, so viral, and so exciting that 1 million people would actually want to watch you. I know that's not the case with me, but it might be with somebody watching this. They're all able to watch it on YouTube, on your own YouTube channel, which is directly connected to your Google Plus account. When you sign up, when you get a Google Plus account, you get all this amazing tools for free along with it, one of which is a YouTube account. But more importantly than that, it is being recorded as it is happening. So you are, without any effort on your own part, able to build a library or a vault of training material or of presentation material or whatever you have done, whatever you are doing in small groups that you want to be able to save for posterity or for people to view at a later time. It also works like video on demand. If you joined this late and you missed the beginning and are watching right now, you can go back to the beginning while you're watching this and watch, and catch up as it goes along, just like a video on demand on television. So when you put all that together, it takes a minute to learn and put into your business immediately, probably a lifetime to master. You can do so much with this technology that I don't understand. But what I liked about it is it's ready, set, go, be on it, and be utilizing it immediately. And for me, that's necessary because I am a techno idiot, and anytime somebody calls me and says I have to connect this to that in order to make something work, I lost them on the first 2 connections. Google does it all for you. So, and they make it easy to utilize. So when you get all that, what do I do with it on a daily basis? Well, Curtis and I work all over the world. And very often we do go in live to see large groups of people on a live stage. But we work with people, both business dealings where we are consulting or working with companies in Europe, for example. And we can sit and do meetings like Tom and I are doing right now. You're just all eavesdropping on it or watching on it with people on the other side of the world. We can record those meetings via Google. We can work on documents and we can brainstorm using things within Google Hangouts like Whiteboard and save them for posterity. It is the ultimate 3-way call or 6-way call because you can invite 8 people that are looking, let's say, at your business for the very first time into a private Hangout, bring in whoever the presenter is going to be, and you can have a meeting, a home meeting without ever being at home. Within a Hangout that is not broadcast, you can broadcast YouTube videos and all watch them together. You can get everybody together to plan and strategize. You can hold leadership events within the Hangout technology itself to automate your business and to keep your leaders connected to the vision and to delegate out what is happening in local markets so it's part of a cohesive whole. From a presentation standpoint, anything that you can do live, you can do on a Hangout. We have done opportunity meetings. We have done trainings. I have been piped into leadership trainings in other cities when I could not attend live because I was in Europe, where I have done the presentation where other people were on the stage live because they put me up on a screen. I've done them in Israel. So I've attended all-day events and been a speaker at those events with a whiteboard on my end and and 2 cameras, one facing the audience and one facing me, where we could actually they could ask questions. I could see them as they answered. So really, anything you can do live, we can find a way to do with Hangouts, and that's really makes it pretty incredible when you think about it.
It's funny that you bring that up, as the way crowd networking came all about was I had a group here at the house that had about 50 people here, and they had about 900 people chiming in on a Google Hangout, and we melted down AT&T. I mean, it was funny. We got I don't know if it's because we had so many people here online on my internet connection, or
it wouldn't have been the YouTube half.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been the YouTube count, but it was, I think, the number of people we had here. So it took me about 2 hours to get AT&T to straighten out because they couldn't figure out why there was so much bandwidth coming out of her place. But when I looked at it, I was studying crowd theory at the time, crowdfunding and crowdsourcing and stuff like that. I was reading a book called The Wisdom of Crowds, and I was watching what they were doing. I thought, wow, this is like crowd networking, and I searched it in Google, and there was nothing. I mean, I've never typed in something into Google and come up with Zippo. And I was blown away, and I thought I had misspelled it. And, of course, I went back in and I checked Wikipedia. there was nothing in Wikipedia about it. And I'm like, wow, this is interesting. So, of course, being a marketer, the next natural thing I did is I went to GoDaddy to see if the domains were available, and they were, all of them. I felt like I had found a vacant piece of real estate in Manhattan, because the amount of search results in the category of crowd and networking was just phenomenal. And so we formed, CrowdNetworker and put together a company, as I mentioned, to really help people build their business online. But crowd networking is also going to be a technology that enables you to connect with people. And let me give you a quick example. Let's say that Lisa goes into Atlanta and she has the CrowdNetworker app. We call it CrowdIdentify is the name of it. It identifies people in the crowd that are most likely to do business with you. But Lisa comes into Atlanta and her phone pings about, I don't know, 27 times, let's say. And she's got her radius set to 20 miles. So she comes into Atlanta, and within 20 miles, there's, let's just say 20 people that fit her profile. Using collaborative filtering, we can identify people that are most likely to do business with Lisa, and she will be notified, and on her app, she'll see their profiles and everything, and she can send them an invite. It's completely anonymous up to there. They don't know her name, they don't know her face or anything like that, and neither does she, but she can read their business profile and ultimately determine if she'd like to meet the person. If she does, she can send them an invite to meet in a virtual environment, whether it's a Google Hangout or it's a chat room or however you want to meet the person. But really excited about CrowdIdentify and ultimately some of the technology that we're working on. But this will be a device that will help you with the business networking process of identifying leads. So, Lisa, when we look at the golden nuggets of building a sustainable business, networking business, would you be able to drop a couple nuggets on the group today on? And I know your training is going to have several of them in it, and have several videos that people can watch, and they can glean from your wisdom and your experience and everything you've done. But can you give us a little insight into the course and where you're going to head with all of our affiliates and all of our students?
Well, I can tell you just a couple of things. I mean, Curtis and I are doing a lot of training about creating sustainable network marketing businesses really all over the industry now, with a lot of leadership groups and a lot of pretty major companies. And I think here's something to think about. When you talk to somebody, Tom, who enters into any kind of direct selling, and even internet marketing to a large degree, unless it's strictly one level, has some degree of networking and involving other people with you in business, and you ask them what are they looking to do, what's the first thing they'll tell you they want? They get in, that they'll all say that they want to make money, right?
Yep.
But like what you were saying at the beginning, it's not about what people tell you, it's about what they really want. What people really want is to make their money back. They really, really want to. They won't say that, and I understand that. Nobody wants to get into business and say, well, I got in this business to make my money back. Of course they got in business to make money. But in order to truly believe, in order to believe that it works, in order to have the confidence level to really go out there gangbusters and share with other people, people want to be able to say that they're at least in profitability. And to be in profitability, you have to get your money back. As a matter of fact, you can't be making money till you break even. And we teach people a lot of strategies to get their money back in their first 24 hours to 7 days, because when that happens, they're bulletproof. They have a level of belief. They have a level of belief that is just, it's not able to be shaken. And most people, when they go out and talk to people, and they go out, I don't care what format it is, bringing people to you, eventually you're going to connect with other people. And either they're going to either applaud your decision or make you doubt your decision. And people that are not comfortable, that do not really believe, will immediately doubt their decision and then become very, very less and less effective in what they're trying to do, which will prove to them that something they're trying to do doesn't work, and it becomes a vicious downward circle. So the first thing that we always teach is how to get your money back so that nobody can ever tell you it doesn't work. Because once you're even in profitability, you know that it does. The second thing, I think, is people need to learn to put their efforts where they're deserved, not needed. And that's a big challenge for solopreneurs starting their own business versus those people that have a business background or come out of business. I see a lot of people break down there. They're always focused on the group that isn't working or the person that isn't doing or whatever it is, instead of focusing on those that are performing and those that are excelling and putting their efforts there, knowing, because the better the story becomes, the more people that will show up for you to find the next group that will work. And I think a third thing, when you look around at the business at large, is that people don't really know how to manage their own expectations or to set the expectations of others, because what they lack in knowledge and understanding of what they've signed up for, they make up for in huge amounts of enthusiasm that dissipates very, very quickly and leaves them sitting there immobilized. So I think that getting a clear handle on what your expectations are, making sure they're realistic, having a proven formula and plan and targets in place that you can measure against what you're doing, and then being able to do that for others is really a big secret to being successful. And those are the kinds of things we teach. As to the specifics of the product, part one, which is the Hangouts, I know how to do that, and part two, yes, and the golden nuggets I'm working on, because there are so many, but those are three things I know that I would touch on, because I touch on those in everything that I teach.
Yeah. I think when you look at what I hear you saying is, you want to treat it like a real business, and I think a lot of people get into home-based business and they throw money at it more as a hobby than they do an actual business, and they don't treat their bottom line. It's like when I sign somebody up with CrowdNetworker, my focus is to make sure that they get 2 more members signed up, and that way I know they've got 100% of their money back. And from there, they're cash flow positive, and they need to be really proud about that, because a lot of people don't get cash flow positive in this business, and it's a vote of confidence when somebody comes into a business, says, hey, I got my money back, so all of the education and all of the opportunity I have right now moving forward is absolutely free, and that's got to feel good for a lot of people.
Well, and also, you said most people don't treat it as a business, they treat it as a hobby. Call me a cynic. I'd be excited if they treated it as a hobby. I think people treat it as a lottery ticket. I know people that give far more attention to their hobbies, like reading the somebody takes up needlepoint. I've met people that actually read the instructions of how to do needlepoint before they take everything out of the box and start throwing it around the room. There are people out there that do that. And in network marketing, you meet a lot of people that don't.
Yeah, I'm not one of those. I don't think I've ever.
Doesn't survive logical introspection or inspection.
That's great. So, Lisa, on the product, when we talk about, people are like, well, how am I going to get this? I know that you and I've talked about there'll be a miracle interview where we'll talk about mentoring and inner awareness and re-engaging your purpose, and attitude determines your magnitude, and the whole miracle thing. We'll have Yeah, we have recorded that before. I think we did a marathon before. I have all the recordings.
It was pretty impressive. It was fun.
Yeah.
Good topic. Good information.
But I think what we'll do is condense it to 45 minutes instead of 4.5 hours.
But it was so much fun.
It was. It's funny when you do that. I've gone back and watched every single one of them, and the ideas that came. I actually took notes, and I'll forward those to you. But some really great stuff came out of that, and so you'll have a 45-minute interview that will be available to you as a freemium to give away people in exchange, of course, for their email address or some form of an opt-in. That's where the conversation, the content is the 45-minute video. The conversation is when they want it and they want to watch it and they request it from you. And then, of course, your first conversion is when they give you their email address. That's the first transaction in the process of making money online. And from there, you'll have a video that is kind of like a sales video that talks about the benefits. At least it's such really an icon in the industry, a powerhouse. You don't have to do a lot of selling when it comes to getting people to want her knowledge.
Put it under the heading of a sales video, but I can't imagine me doing a sales video. I'll just talk about it, and I think if people are anxious and being, to be successful and they see value in it, it'll be something that they want to, listen to and incorporate into their businesses. But I'm not from the salesy people anymore. I gave that up about 10 years ago, and I realized.
No, I was just coining it. That's the first video that people see after they request the freemium video, which is I'm educating people on the terminology of typically our process. But from there, and you're right.
I'm the one who's getting educated, so go for it.
And it's funny that you bring that up, Lisa, is we are getting away from that. It's not as much about, the pop-ups and the upsells and all of that. CrowdNetworker is more about the education, first and foremost, because we empower you with the education. You can go use our template for any of your passions. If you want to start a water skiing course, if you want to start a knitting course or a recipe course, or whatever you want to do, the model we're actually teaching you can be applied. Our model is teaching people how to make money online, build sustainable crowd networks, and ultimately live their dreams, live where they want to live how they want to live, make money doing it. If you're a Tim Ferriss fan, a lot of our philosophy comes straight out of the book, The 4-Hour Work Week. If you have not read that, it's one of my favorite books. But when you look at the let's call it the sales video or the educational video or the buy Lisa's product video, this is why you should, this is what it's going to include. From there, they'll get 8 emails automatically that follow up with them. And all of this is loaded into the back office of our system. So if you're a member of CrowdNetworker, you will be able to go into your back office and say, I want to market Lisa's product today, or I want to drive some traffic to Lisa's sales page where people can actually request the 45-minute video. And in exchange, once they do that, they'll be redirected to the sales video. We set all of this up for you. You don't have to set it up. All you have to be able to do is cut and paste a link, and maybe you want to go to one of the traffic buyers that we have affiliated. We've got some great traffic buyers, and you want to drive traffic to the page to build your database. And that's people don't understand that's how our business works. But if 2% of your database were to buy something from you every month, let me just give a quick hypothetical. Let's say that you invested $30,000 over a period of 12 months or 2 years to build a 10,000 person list. And let's say that Lisa's product comes out in September and you've got your list, and all of a sudden you mail it out to your list, her product. And let's say 2% of your 10,000 people buy the product. Okay? That would be 200 sales. And let's say that your average commission on the product is $60 or $50. You're going to make $10,000 to $12,000 just by sending an email out to your list with a high-quality product. And I can tell you one thing. You show me something I can invest $30,000 into and make $5,000 to $10,000. Show me how to make $3,000 to $5,000 a month off of that type of money, and I'm yours all day long, because those ROIs, to me, this is one of the best ROI businesses that you'll ever get in your life if, big if, you know what you're doing. If you don't, it's the biggest drain you can pour money. It's about as bad as a boat, and I've owned a 63-foot boat, and I can tell you what, you can pour as much money down a boat as you can in the internet marketing business if you're willing to be that stupid and go at it without knowing or having the expert guidance. And so we're real big on teaching people those things. But Lisa, any closing words on thoughts on crowd networking, where you're heading next? What's on Lisa's mind?
I was actually thinking about one of the things that you were saying, and it's so true in network marketing when you were saying people can take the information and start the water ski course or whatever it is. I think that what most people don't understand is that when you develop skills and an understanding of how to do something, that's your insurance policy in life, because business climates change, companies change, people pick companies they thought were going to be great, sometimes they are not, or they have to make transitions in their life, or the marketplace changes. But when you really develop skills, understanding, knowledge, and clarity about what it is you're doing, you can really always, you're always going to be okay, because nobody can take what's between your ears. I think the most important thing always is people. And I think what really stands out about this community is the fact that it is a community. Because I don't think it's about information. I think that I can give you some good information, and I'm going to work really hard to do that. And because this product is a work in progress, we're putting it together now and over the next few months. And for those of you that are watching, you're very fortunate, because you're at the inception of something. It's always very cool to be involved in something at its inception, especially and only if the people behind it have the track record of knowing what they're doing, and in this case they do. Excuse me. But all of the information in the world is available in a multitude of environments. So if starting with a library, ending with the internet and everything in between. But getting in with a group of people that have done the work for you, to kind of have invested the time and the money to weed out the nonsense, to cull it down for you and put it in terms that you understand, and then to be surrounded by people that have been where you want to go, or are currently where you are, that you can move forward with together. I think that this is the reason and the key to success. I think that's why so many people don't just sit at home and make money online by themselves, and why Tom is putting together something like this, because goodness knows he has a great list, and he can email it out once a month, and he can get a 2% conversion, and he can make a great living. And if that was all he did, I imagine that gets pretty lonely for him, not to mention it doesn't really teach anybody else what to do. And once you reach a level of success in this space, a part of what you feel almost driven and led to do on a daily basis is to try to pay it forward and push it forward and carry it on, so that other people can do what you've done, or carry the torch once you decide to stop doing it. So I think it's really cool, and I'm looking forward to learning a lot of stuff. As I've said, I'm very good at a few things and lousy a lot of others. So for those of you that are wondering if you can do this, we'll learn together some of these things about building a list and things. And if you have any suggestions or anything you'd really like to be included in this product, just let Tom know. He'll let me know, because since we're just now deciding exactly what it should be what you want it to be, because then you'll be most happy with it. So we've got a general outline, but there's room for things if you feel like there's something in that particular golden nugget section that you want.
Yeah, Lisa, I think you may have. Go ahead.
I would say Florida, Utah, Vegas, and Europe in the next 5 weeks. I'll hit in 5 countries in Europe.
Well, I think you just added a subtitle to the training. It's about you're right. It's about creating a sustainable lifestyle, and you are right, because when you're given the knowledge, I can I love fishing. My daughter loves cooking. Making cookies, and it's interesting because she's a top 5% Pinterest pinner and has major followers, on Pinterest, and it's amazing because she's learning at 15 years old how to productize her traffic. I mean, she's got all this traffic and people coming to her boards and checking it out. So she's been taking a Pinterest course, and I look at her at 15 years old, and I say, you know what? At 25, she's going to have 50,000 followers on Pinterest. As long as she knows the business model, she can just go find something that she loves, and she can go build a business around it, much like Adventure Girl did with travel. And there's been so many stories of people that have built their businesses around social media and building data banks, if you will. And that's ultimately what we're teaching people in this business. But building a sustainable lifestyle begins with the first step, and that is learning the basics. And if you have not watched the 4 free video series that we have, you can scroll to the bottom of the page, and there's a Contact Me button, and you could say, please send me the 4 video series. And we urge everybody to watch that before they get involved in CrowdNetworker, because if that doesn't make sense to you, if it doesn't resonate with you, I tell people there's no reason for you to waste your money. There's no reason for you to get involved, because we try and break it down to the simple with the 4 core lessons of how to do this business. And if you just don't see yourself doing it, well, that fails test number 1, and that means your little voice inside of you is saying, I can't do this. And if your little voice is saying that, there's no coaching, no mentoring, nothing, no motivation I can give you to change that little voice. That means your desire factor or your dream factor may not be amped up enough to want to learn how to do this business. And that's one thing that I've learned, is if you really tap into people's why, the how appears clear as day for them. And it's just been one of those things that has stood to the test. I can't look at a person, Lisa, and know what type of dreams they've got written on their heart, because it's hidden by their skin. And as I always say, I can only tell by the actions they take and the moves they make. And that's I think the both of us have seen that a lot in our long careers in this business. But I think Lisa, you're
now where I have been doing this longer than I have been not doing it. I have been doing this more than half my life. I am old.
So you've been doing it for 12 years? Is that what you're selling me?
Oh, isn't he? You know, this is why I love you. Your wife trained you well.
Let me do this. I'll go ahead and wrap up the presentation, but I did want to tell you this, Lisa. You're going to be very excited. I don't know if you know that 22 Social, which is the app that we're broadcasting on right now, they have released a new product, a new feature, where anybody who has a product, they actually can, they have built in a product setup, a e-commerce system into 22 Social now, where you can actually create a sales page and an order button, and people can actually watch your video, order your product, and then once they're inside of your app. So they've actually created a really great solution for us, Lisa, in a lot of people that maybe they don't want to go out and buy one of these expensive CRM systems, one of these expensive systems we use to manage our businesses. For $22 a month, they now have access to a tool where they can go create, for example, your video series. You can actually create, and I'm telling you, it takes like 30 minutes. Renee walked it through me yesterday. So that's going to be our first product that we come out with. I'm working with James Chapman on it, but we're going to teach people how to turn their passion into a digital product and sell it online to a targeted audience. And I'm super excited about that. But it's called PayGate, and they Renee just told me about it on Saturday, or no, Friday. I had a call with them, and he showed me a preview of it, and it's awesome, because you know why it's awesome? It's because it's so simple, and that's what I love about it. It hooks straight into your PayPal account.
Well, yes, simplicity and I do get along well, because I am simple when it comes to all things online. But that's the beauty of what's happening is anybody, it really is, the good timing really is wonderful now to do a lot of things that even 2 years ago, trust me, I looked at doing it 2 years ago, was rather daunting. Yeah. You know, for those of you that understand it and have grown up with it like you did, Tom, as it's gone through all its inceptions, it's really, you don't realize how intimidating and daunting it can be, but it's finally getting, like with the Hangouts, to where it's sort of one and done. Yeah. You know, where people can just get something and the basics of what they need are within one infrastructure, and that, I think, is what's making it a lot easier for a lot of people to take the transition step and come online and expand their reach and be able to be in more places at once, because it doesn't seem like you're asking them to speak a foreign language anymore in order to be able to do it.
I always joke about the AWeber comments that we had on those videos. I went back and I watched them because I was laughing, and we were talking about...
I'm still not speaking to him.
We were talking about AWeber, and it's like, that's not a grill. We're not talking about a grill, folks. We're talking about a software. And that was one of the funniest parts of the video. I went back and watched. But what I will do, and you're right, Lisa, I mean, I read one of the first AWeber manuals, and I remember it was 200 pages. And, I mean, they had like, they had so much code in the thing, it gave me a headache. I had no clue what it meant. And then, of course, I went to Infusionsoft, and I got my indoctrination into CRM systems with Infusionsoft. And, I've moved on to Entreport, which is the old Office Autopilot, which, of course, it's every system has its downfalls and little quirks, and we've been learning all of that information as we go along. But there's a lot of stuff, folks. You'd be amazed at what you can learn in this industry if you apply yourself for 12 months. That's one thing I do tell people, especially if you have mentors, and that's the first part of our miracle strategy is mentors provide the map that you need for your journey, and that's a mentor advisory panel. If you're going to go on a journey, you need a map. And so one thing that we emphasize within CrowdNetworker, that's why it is our #1 strategy, get those mentors, because they can really cut the distance between point A and Z. They can shorten it so much. And I know that you did that for me with Google Hangouts, and for that I am eternally grateful.
So many things.
But
the more mentors you have, the more success.
I'll go ahead and go ahead.
I was going to say, the more mentors you have, the more success you will achieve, and you put together a really good panel here to help support people in their quest for success.
Great thing about our community also, we have a private community that people who come in at our level 2 and 3, they have access to the mentors that are in that community. And what I'll do, Lisa, I'll just wrap up the CrowdNetworker presentation in the next 10 minutes and let everybody off the line. But I want to tell you, I really thank you for being here today. I'm looking forward to working with you to creating this product and getting it out to our team. And we're going to have thousands and thousands of people that are going to offer your product to people all around the world, and I'm excited about them having the opportunity to do that, but I'm more excited about the customers who get the information, what they're actually going to learn, because that's where the real gold, that's where the great karma is going to be created, and I love that.
Thanks so much for having me on, and hi to everybody who's watching, and we'll chat soon.
Great, thanks, Lisa. You have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, everyone. Well, that was Lisa Grossmann. It was awesome to have her online. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just wrap up the CrowdNetworker presentation. For those that don't know what CrowdNetworker is, we have a really cool system. And give me about 10 minutes, and I will be finished with the presentation for you. But Lisa is excited about creating a product, and it'll be called Building Sustainable Crowd Networks, and using Google Hangouts, and we'll have a whole bunch of gold nuggets in there. And we've talked, most of our products, so you know, are going to be around a $97 price point, so they're not going to break the bank. They're going to be products that people can afford, and they're going to pay out anywhere from 50 to 80% commission. We haven't decided on Lisa's yet, but it will be a very healthy commission that you'll get for offering it to your data bank. But let me just, as I mentioned through our video, we do have a miracle strategy that we work with. I won't go into great detail on that, but it's a 7-step tactic that we use for creating miracles in your life. A lot of people, you know, I've told you a lot about CrowdNetworker and what it's all about, and CrowdNetworking. We are building some technology that's going to transform the business networking industry into what we call the crowd networking industry, and we own all the intellectual property around that, so we're very, very excited about reinventing an old space and adding technology to it. But you've heard of crowdsourcing, crowdfunding. Well, got news for you. There's crowd networking, and we're just providing a team approach to utilizing crowd engagement technology like Google Hangouts and the global reach of social media to create quality of life results. Crowd networking works because we have a system, we have an enthusiasm for what we're doing, and we offer a lot of activity. We have presentations going on all the time. We have a lot of activity, and that makes it exciting because it's not the same old day in and day out. Of course, I've talked about the ADCs of internet marketing, automation of marketing, duplication of team, and creation of freedom. I've mentioned to you that we offer best-in-class tools for building your crowd network. We have the Crowd Catalyst back office. We have all the lead capture pages. We have a system. But, you know, first and foremost, there's a lot of people that have a lot of systems out there, but our focus is on the education because we want you to have a sustainable lifestyle, which means you can do it, use what we're teaching you in any business. We are not pushing any one network marketing company or requiring people to sign up in any one company in exchange for our system being free, okay? You can use it for whatever you want, okay? The wrong way on that one. We have a great looking website. Everyone who joins our system gets a website, so you can use this to talk to people about the system, which we think is important. Everyone gets notice we're broadcasting through Facebook right now, so everyone gets our Crowd Catalyst TV station. It's an app that you can install on Facebook. We of course have great looking lead pages, landing pages for you to generate leads with. That will go into your data bank. So these are your data bank collection devices. We have the Evergreen automated webinar system that allows you to introduce our webinars all over the world on any time zone. And then we have our private community. Our private community is where all the leaders are, okay? And the fun thing about our community, these are people that have paid at least $497 for the year to be in the community, so you're not going to get a bunch of spammers, you're not going to get a bunch of people wasting your time. These are people that have made a real commitment to the crowd networking business. And, you know, ultimately, you met just one of our mentors. We've got several others, Larry Benet, Scott Bueller, we've got John Chapman, we've got, you know, the Beasleys from the UK that are creating a product for us. We have really, really great mentors, and you're going to get access to one highly qualified miracle mentor each month. And you know, you've got a preloaded commissionable offering that will be in your back office that you can market to your database. And then, of course, the monthly mentor interviews, the 90-minute live. Imagine spending 90 minutes in a live workshop with Lisa Grossman talking about how to build a sustainable crowd networker and being able to ask her questions. I think that's exciting. So here's our memberships. We have our Miracle Mentor products. We provide you with a free website. You get access to our private Facebook room. We have basic training, Google training modules, Google Hangouts. Now, the free membership is not commission qualified, which means you can use our system, but you can't make any money selling it, okay? And we want that available to everybody because some people do want to use our system, so we don't require any payment to use our system. However, if you want to make money, somebody said the other day, says, Tom, I'm just going to outsource all of my internet education to you, and I'm going to let you train my team on internet marketing. I've been doing it for 17 years. Lisa, you know, she said 12 years. She's 25. Remember, we're gonna keep it at that. But and then we've got over 200 years of experience on board with our company. And then of course on our level 1 membership, it's $197 per year, folks. Okay, that makes you commission qualified on a single level. Okay. And you can earn $100 commissions marketing this product, 50% commissions, and then of course if you're a level 3 member, you make a 2-level override. So the level 3 is a 2-level system, and our level 2 membership is $497. And I've got real good news right now, because if you buy the $497 membership for level 2, that's one-time payment per year. You get the level 3 membership included in that. Okay, so we have a special promotion going on right now through June that will enable you to get the level 3 membership for the level 2 price, and you get our easy-to-use CrowdNetworker system, our 7-day Miracle of Success program, the 12 Miracle Mentor live workshops and interviews. Folks, those alone, one of those by themselves is worth $497. You're direct sales qualified, which means you have a single level plan, which means you can sell our products and make a 50% commission. And of course, you'll be a level 3 member, which gives you the $100 override or the 2-level override. So the level 3 membership starting in July will be $997 per year, and it will also include the Crowd Community Pass, where you actually can come into our private community and gain all kinds of education. And then, of course, you have access to our NetStock live event, which is going to be a 3-day, 2-night event, Woodstock style. We're talking tents around a lake. We're talking about bands. We're talking about a celebration of the internet lifestyle. And this one gets you affiliate sales qualified, and you get a $500 commission for marketing this product starting in July. And it also provides a $200 override if you're a level 3 member. So that keeps our plan real simple. No rocket science degree needed to learn how to use our compensation plan. It's pretty straightforward. We pay out 70% commission, and we have a high-quality program. Google Hangouts 2 times a day at 3 p.m. and at 9:30 p.m. And all we tell people is, number one, definitely watch our 4 free videos before you get involved. And join CrowdNetworker now. Get involved. Start your learning process now. The journey starts with a single step. And run our system. Let us do all of the presentations for you. Let us do all of the training for you. You just find people that have a desire to want to make money online. And then, of course, share the dream of coming home. I mean, everybody wants to work from home. Everybody wants to, be their own boss and control their own destiny. And this is an opportunity that you have in the next 12 months. You could be doing that if you'll just take the time and make the commitment to make it happen. So tap the power of the crowd and create a dream lifestyle. That's ultimately what we want everybody to do. Again, if this is your first time seeing the presentation, we had a huge amount of people that stayed on, so I got a feeling we have a lot of new people on because of Lisa being on here. But we will also be having special guests that will be coming along, James Chapman, Larry Benet, Scott Bueller. We've got some great guests that will be on our Hangouts that gives you a reason to get excited to invite people to the Hangouts so they can learn more about CrowdNetworker. And my time is up. It is we're right at 60 minutes. Great having everybody online today. It was a real pleasure having Lisa Grossman online. Thank you for spending time with us. If you want more information, scroll to the bottom of the page that you're on, and you can click the Contact Me button and put in your information, and somebody will get back in touch with you. And again, we do Google Hangouts every day at 3 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time that help you build your business. So, folks, your CrowdNetworker, I should say. So, great having everybody online. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the other side.